Welcome back to my podcast, everybody. So, today's video is a late night chat with Jazzy, and as you can see by the title, we're going to be talking about betrayal. So, let's get into the video. Betrayal is the sense of being harmed by someone that you thought you could trust. Anybody could be betrayed by a lover, a friend, family member, and yes, it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt to the point where you may not even think that you can trust that person again. You may not think you can trust anyone again. That's how deep the wounds could go. Really, in today's video, I'm just going to talk about like how you could cope with betrayal and a solution to it and how to just manage it. Like, because you're going to be betrayed probably more than once by someone that you thought you love. Usually when a person betray you is because they're selfish and they wasn't even considering how it would affect you, and because and they was gonna think about themselves because they're selfish. Like, it's that simple as that. But I also think that it is human nature for people to be selfish here and there. You know, people always gonna be selfish sometimes. Like, they're always gonna think of themselves. People always think of themselves. Like, they don't think about others first. They think about themselves first, and then they think about others. So it's just human nature. It's a part of life. It's part of being human. But I feel like the biggest thing about betrayal is owning up to what you have done, admitting that you betrayed that person instead of trying to manipulate the person, because people could gaslight you and try to manipulate you into thinking that what you're feeling is not right. That never happened. People could do that, especially family. They could really make you think that you're crazy and that what happened to you, what they did to you, is not true. So that person needs to admit that they hurt you. Like, people should really just admit when you're doing something wrong. Admit to it. Own up to it. Like, you was bold enough to betray me, so be bold enough to admit that you did it. Apologize so we can move on. Like, we can't move on if you don't own up to anything that what you have done. But you may not always get an apology from someone that betrayed you. So here's some solutions of what I think you should do. Oh, like, also, before I tell you like a solution to what I think you should do, that phrase, oh, I just gotta love that person from a distance. I hear a lot of that, especially when it comes down to like people who betrayed you as far as family. Like, if a family member betray you, I hear a lot of people like, oh, I just gotta love them from a distance. And they only say that because it's hard to get rid of a family member, especially if you're gonna see them at family events that you're attending, or if whatever, you just might see them. So it's different from like a friendship or a lover. Like, you could get away from a lover or a friendship, but family, that's blood. You're always possibly gonna run into them. You're always gonna see them somehow. So you might be like, okay, I just gotta love them from a distance, and that's always gonna be your family at the end of the day. That's your blood. And it's messed up that sometimes family do betray you, but it happens, and there's really nothing you can do about it. Like, it's really out of your control at that point. So, but I don't think loving someone from a distance is always the best way. If that's your way of coping, hey, you could do that. But that's also called like, disassociating yourself with the person. If you feel like you can't coexist with that person anymore. Like, I can't be in the same room as them. I can't. I just can't be around them because it's gonna get you all wound up. You're gonna start thinking about what they did. You're gonna get emotional. You're gonna want to explode. So that's a way. That's one way people um handle with betrayal. Another way is like choosing to forget and kind of be in denial about the situation because they're like, I can't believe that that person would do that to me. I can't believe it. So they choose to just forget about it. They don't want to think about it because it's too much for them to even handle thinking about. People are also quick to hold grudges. Like, that's also another bad habit that us as humans do. We hold grudges for a very long time. Like, which is not a good thing. Holding a grudge from, especially for somebody that you consider that you love, you're gonna hold a grudge on them. Like, I think life is too short to be holding a grudge on somebody because you really have to consider, like, okay, if this person was to be gone tomorrow, how would I feel? Like, would I be sad? Would I be angry? Would I even care at all if this person was to be gone the next day? Like, is it really that serious? Was it that serious where you think you can never forgive them? You can never hang out with them. You have to really think about that hard. And everybody's betrayal situation is different. Some people betrayals like to the extreme where that person really hurt them and is no coming back from it. And some betrayals probably like not as serious, but it's serious, but it's not as serious as others. So they could probably get over it and get past it and still be able to coexist with that person. So, like, if you're gonna hold a grudge, you really have to think about, is it really worth it? Is it really worth all my time and energy to be upset with this person every time I see them? Is it really worth it? Because sometimes it's really not worth it. You don't know when somebody's gonna be gone and you're holding a grudge on that person. You don't want to speak to that person. I'm pretty sure, like, if that person was to be gone the next day, you will be upset with yourself. You're gonna be angry that they didn't get to hear what you have to say to them about how you feel about the betrayal. You're gonna be upset that they did that to you. You're gonna be upset that you was not heard. You're gonna be upset that they did not take responsibility of what they did. You're just gonna be angry. So that's gonna be even more. You're gonna be even more mad. You're gonna start being miserable. Like, come on. Is it really worth it? Is it really worth all your time and energy? Like, I really had, like, even when I had been betrayed by like a friendship, I really had to think, like, is it really worth my time thinking about all of that? Like, is it really worth my time holding a grudge at this person? Is it really worth my time being mad at this person? Like, and also I had to think, like, okay, if something was to happen and I needed to call this person up, would they come running for me? And I was like, yes, this person will absolutely come running. So also think, like, would that person have your back if you needed them? If that person will have your back, then maybe you need to reconsider holding a grudge on that person. You may have to, it may take some time for you to coexist with that person, but you might have to just let it go. All that anger you have for that person, have to just let it go. Especially if it's a family member. Parents, family is everything. You always gonna have your family. And I'm pretty sure even though they may betray you, they always gonna have your back if you need anything. They may not always talk to you every day, but if you call them, you need something, they'll be there. So really have to consider thinking about stuff like that. Like, so this is what a solution I think would that you should do. Try writing all your feelings down. Write how you feel down on a piece of paper and read it out loud. Read it out loud. Pretend that you're having a conversation with the person that betrayed you. Imagine in your head what their response would be to how you feel, to how you felt. And I recommend doing this if you can't have a real sit down one on one with the person. Because, yes, that is a difficult conversation to have with a person that betrayed you. That is hurtful. It might not even go well with, because that person might sit here and deny everything and act like that never happened. It didn't happen that way, or that's not true, or whatever it was. They might not even own up to what they have done, which is another issue. If you betrayed someone, if somebody said you betrayed them or if you hurt them in any type of way, don't try to make them feel like that their feelings is not valuable. Admit what you did to them. And then that, yes, you may have did that and caused them to be hurt and stuff like that. And then you say how you feel. That's also another thing. You may feel like we was betrayed by a person, but we also need to consider, how do they feel? What was they thinking? Like, we have to consider another person's perspective. And what if the roles were reversed? Like, what if you was in that position? What would you have done? I feel like it's easy for a person to hold a grudge, but it's hard for a person to have a one-on-one, face-to-face with the person that betrayed you. And remember that life is too short. Like, and stressing over a situation that might not be worth it is it's a waste of time. It's a waste of life. Just keep yourself trying not to be angry anymore, because it takes a lot to be angry. And I don't know about y'all, I choose to be happy. Because me, I was tired. I was angry at that person. So I just was like, ugh, I don't need to be angry. I don't want to. It's just life. It's part of life. And I hope you like this video. Like, comment, and share. And I'll see you in the next. Bye.